Welcome and good morning, my children, good afternoon, my fellow adults, and also good evening to all of you old fucks. Now, today it's Tuesday. It's a pretty cold Tuesday, I have to say. Also, it's at times like these I ask myself why. Why did I cut my hair if I was planning on keeping the window open to let the cold air all in my back that is now naked because the hair is gone? That was not a good decision. Now, for today, we have an announcement to make. The announcement is that, as you might have gathered, I assume, from the thumbnail of this video, or perhaps even the title, I am starting to stream as we get very close, in fact, the closest we can, to Dragonflight. In case you haven't noticed, in case you have missed it, on this Tuesday, we are getting the last reset of Shadowlands in NA. Tomorrow, on Wednesday, it will come for EU as well. So I thought that this was pretty much the longest we could have waited before we started to stream. I have put this off for like a couple of months already. I was pointing out, if you remember from some of the older videos, the starting to stream as we can start testing a lot of things in the beta, for example, like I was doing in Shadowlands. However, what I did not expect was that as we got deeper and deeper into the beta of Dragonflight, it did not really get easier to be able to test specs and to know how well specs are doing and to be able to use, for example, simulations to tell how specs are doing. In fact, in this expansion, we have kept on, for example, Mythic Plus closed the whole week and only open for weekends for something like a month longer than it was in Shadowlands. The raid testing was also shorter than what we have gotten in Shadowlands as well. So I didn't find the time, I didn't find the reason or the excitement to start streaming, given that I didn't find nearly as many things to be excited for, to test for in the beta of Dragonflight when it came to specs, power, to the possible meta state of the different specs. So it has been kept, so we have been keeping this streaming affair going on for far too long. So it's a good thing that now, as we get very close to the expansion at this point, we can start streaming and testing out a few things, getting things smoothened out before the expansion actually releases now in just basically 7 days. Now, as for the stream itself will be starting this Thursday. There might be a pre-stream stream on Wednesday about the same time, mostly because I have to check out a few things while being live, so that's going to be needed, but keeping official times, it's going to start on Thursday. Now, what I do need from you is going to be some lab rats, some sacrificial lambs to test out, to smoothen out a few things from the stream, like the audio levels of the stream, the feedback from the microphone, checking out a few other things, like perhaps having to say goodbye to my dear mechanical keyboard since the noise would be quite distracting, and a few other things, logistics related for the stream, just to make sure everything is ready before the expansion actually comes out in a week. So now, as for the stream itself, when it comes to the schedule, there isn't really one at the moment. I am planning to stream almost every day, but again, it's not certain. Some days I won't be streaming, other days I will cut it shorter than the 4 to 5 hours I plan on doing, at the very least at the start. What I am more settled on is the time when I am going to be starting, because as you might have noticed, I hail from Europe, and I am also quite the nocturnal animal. Mornings and early afternoons are not really my jam. So when it comes to the streaming times, they will be starting somewhere in the realm of 9 to 10 p.m. European time, which would translate to 1 p.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Eastern US time. So that is when it's going to start, and it's going to continue for a few hours until I am eventually tired and will stop. So that is for now the idea. I had quite the window on when to start streaming, but I noticed that if I started very, very late European time, to make it closer to late evening in the US, I might have streamed too late for my fellow European friends. So trying to find somewhere in the middle, like late evening for Europe and afternoon for NA. But if it calls for some adjustments, that is also going to be something I will be looking into and see if it's better to just change the times as well. We will see that once I have started to stream in the first place. So for now, there isn't really much else to do other than wait and see how it goes. As for the game itself, much to everyone's surprise, the game played will be World of Warcraft. I know, that is a shocker. I can already tell you, however, that on Saturday I will be playing other games. I will be having some some variety Saturday to play other things, just to have more chances to interact with my viewers without having to play and talk about the same thing, being WoW. So I thought that is going to be more engaging and also more interesting to do rather than just playing WoW every time. Also, much to everyone's surprise, my tag on YouTube is Izenart, my tag on Patreon is Izenart, my tag on Twitter is Izen_heart, and my tag on Twitch is going to be Izenart. That's right, that is a shocking revelation for everyone who might have wondered what the name was. However, with this out of the way, I gave you the announcement I wanted to give you for today, the fact that I'm starting to stream, starting from this Thursday at 10 p.m. European time, 1 p.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Eastern. Besides that, there isn't really much else to say. I'm still hoping, going back to talk about WoW, that Blizzard continues the set and the rounds of balance tuning right until it's going to matter, which is going to be when the season begins, which I believe is the 12th of December. So please continue to apply several changes to several of the specs still in need, both in the sense of buffing them and also in the sense of nerfing the ones that are a little bit over the top at the moment. But beyond that, there isn't really much else to talk about. I have been leveling and then grinding and getting up my evoker, which might or might not be my next main for the next expansion. We might talk about it a little bit more in my first stream, as I will be going over the specs I am considering to play as a main for Dragonflight. But for today, guys, this is everything I wanted to broadcast, so it's time to leave each other. Also because, as you might have, I don't think seen, perhaps heard from the background, it's raining and I have to go out, and it's been raining progressively more, so I wouldn't want to be soaked the moment I get out of the car, so I have to speed things up. Thanks, of course, as usual, to all of my Patreon supporters who are contributing and supporting myself and this channel to provide you all with some more WoW content. You can still, as usual, support in other ways which don't include spending money, like liking and commenting down below, as well as subscribing to the channel itself. Lastly, for more social interactions, you can find me on Twitter, and you can also support me by subscribing to my Patreon, which will also give you access to my Discord server. Now, with this said and done, it's time to leave each other. Hoping to see you again in a couple of days as I start my stream. See you guys soon, and in the meantime, fuck. Not only is it raining, I'm also getting the stealth allergy to God knows what.